How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna hit a shore dive with my friend Matt. You guys all know Matt, the Uku man. And yeah, we're just gonna swim it out. It's a little bit later in the day, so don't got a lot of time, but hopefully we can get some fish, get a nice catch and cook going. I don't really know what we're gonna shoot this spot that we're going to. It's kind of random, but you know, hopefully the usuals, Uku, yellow spot. You know, whenever I go diving, I'm always hoping for the same kinds of things pretty much. But yeah, hopefully we can get on some fish and I can do a nice little catch and cook for you guys after with Matt. He's a good chef as well, so he'll probably think of a pretty good recipe for whatever we run into. And yeah, that's the plan. I'll see you guys in the water. Shoots.
What's up, everybody? Today we're going diving with Mr. Zach Ing. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. See you in the water.
Alright guys, so on the way out, Matt stopped me, called me over, and said he saw a Nohu go underneath this rock. And he's not a big fan of Nohus, but I personally am, and I haven't shot one in a long time, or seen one even in a long time. So I was pretty excited to shoot and try this guy. So I line up right here, take the shot. Nice thing about Nohus is they stay completely still a lot of the time. They like to try and camouflage with the rocks. And a lot of times it works, but not this time. And a quick side note, I love the way that this Waihana suit looks underwater. That's my first time seeing it from somebody else's point of view. But super sick looking suit. I just got this one from Waihana. And if you want to get one just like it, it's their fishbone pattern that they just came out with. And I've got a discount code linked down in the description below, so go check it out if you want to get one of these suits for yourself. But yeah, really cool looking fish, really interesting looking fish. And we call these guys Nohu. They're a type of scorpion fish. And the top spines, their dorsal spines, are actually venomous. So if you get poked by it, it's really sore. It's not going to kill you, but it's really, really sore. So as long as you avoid those spines, you should be fine. And there's actually two types of scorpion fish that look very similar. It's the Nohu, and there's another one that I'm not quite sure what the name of, or what its name is. And they look very similar, but the other one doesn't get as big. Nohus get pretty big. This one's one of the smallest ones I've ever shot. But if you guys know how to tell the difference, let me know, because I'm not sure which one this was, but pretty sure it was a Nohu, so we're just gonna call it a Nohu from now. So we got out to some deeper water, and me and Matt were taking turns, taking drops. And as you can see, it was pretty dirty. It looks cleaner here on camera, but it was super dirty from the surface. We couldn't see any fish on the bottom. So we were basically just taking blind drops where we could see the structure. And so I hit the bottom here, and me and Matt had both been taking drops before this and been seeing a bunch of moose. And the interesting thing about dirty water is when there's moose around, they tend to hang out lower in the water column and be more curious when the water's dirty. I don't know why that is, but that's just something that I've noticed. And while I'm waiting for the moose, 3 big Vekinonos come up behind me. And if I wasn't going for the moose, I probably would have shot one of those because they were pretty huge. But I focus up, look back in front of me, and there's a big moose sitting right there. So I line up and completely miss. As soon as I lunged, he started taking off, and I just took a bad shot when he was turning. Maybe should have waited, maybe shouldn't have taken the shot at all. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty upset about that one. He was a big moose, like maybe 5.5 pounds, 5.5 pounds. Really good size one, but unfortunately missed him. But it was at least a good sign that they were coming into range, you know, not, at least they were being curious and giving us potential shots. So even though I missed and was pretty upset about it, I figured that I would probably get another opportunity later on in the day. Maybe not as easy of an opportunity as that one was, because he was super close before I spooked him. But an opportunity nonetheless. There's Matt right there. So after that drop, Matt throws his flasher to see if he can bring anything in, and as it's going down, a really nice sized uku comes in and starts circling around it. Now, we've seen ukus at this spot before, and we see them relatively often, but a lot of times they're really smart. But this one coming right into the flasher and just doing circles around it was a really good sign that he was going to be pretty curious. So Matt's making his drop here, making his way down, and it comes out from right underneath him. So again, another good sign that it's probably going to come in once he hits the bottom. And he's not even on the bottom fully, and it was already coming in, and it comes in right up to the end of his gun, and he pulls the trigger here, bang, and he gets a really bad muzzle wrap right around the end of his gun. For whatever reason, it was super bizarre, and he's told me before he's never had a muzzle wrap ever in his life, but he actually did hit the fish. It's just that because of the muzzle wrap, the flopper didn't get all the way through, but he hit it in the gills, and so he could see it bleeding out. And so he tries to chase after it, seeing if if he can see it go into a hole or something, because he knew he hit it hard in the gills, and he could see blood flowing out of the gills. And so he figured maybe if he could chase it down, maybe it would hole up and then bleed out and he could find it later. We checked a bunch of holes. Like I said, it was super dirty from the surface, so we couldn't see anything on the bottom. But we checked a bunch of holes and couldn't find it, unfortunately. But here's Matt's flasher. He didn't get the chance to pick it up because he went chasing after that uku. And so this is my drop right here, just retrieving his flasher. But I figured might as well try and get a fish on this drop if I'm going to be going all the way to the bottom anyway. So I started dusting and scratching, and I can see moose in the distance, and you can see there's one right in front of me right there. So I just started turning my body a little bit just to get a better angle. And I look up, he's still right there, and this time I go much slower and take my time. He turns one way, gives me a good shot, and I take it. This time, managed to hit the fish. So I go back, grab Matt's flasher real quick, and then I start swimming over to grab my moo. But yeah, like I said, for some reason, dirty water, as much as it's kind of annoying to deal with when you're out there, it for some reason makes moose more curious. At least in my experience, it makes moose more curious. They come in closer, they stay closer to the bottom. So just an interesting observation. But yeah, first moo of the day. Really nice size one. Maybe like not huge, not as big as the first one that I missed, but maybe like a 2.5, 3 pounder, something like that. And I actually shot him at a weird angle, so I got him from the bottom and then out through the front of his face. Yeah, these guys, for those who don't know, if you're watching from outside of Hawaii, or you've never dove Hawaii before, these guys are considered in the islands to be the smartest reef fish that we have here, but they're also really, really good eating. One of my personal favorites to cook up, and they're really good raw too, as sashimi or poke, any kind of sushi. They're good that way too. So pretty sought after fish here in the islands. So it was getting a little bit late, but me and Matt decided 2 more drops or 3 more drops or something like that, and then we'd head in. Matt was pretty upset about the uku, so he was kind of bummed out, didn't really want to dive too much more, and the sun was going down. It was getting pretty dark, so we didn't want to stay out there for too long. But I figured I could maybe pick off one more moose, so I started diving pretty close to where I shot that first one, because I figured the school would still be in the area. And I'm hitting the bottom in these sand patches because I like to be able to throw up that dust cloud in front of me. And also I'm in a little depression here, so my body isn't just flat out open on the reef. I'm at least a little bit hidden behind these rocks in front of me. So I'm nice and low, just scratching the bottom, keeping my eyes down, throwing up sand, and I'll look up periodically. and I look up here and the moose are starting to come in, so I look right back down, look up, see if they're in range, and I see one of them that is, so I take a lunge, take a shot. He was a little bit far away, but managed to get a shot. Not the greatest shot, a little bit too low, a little bit too far back, but he was staying on, so I just stayed close by him, didn't just go up to the surface because I wanted to get him in my hands, make sure he didn't have the chance to rip off. Got him out of that hole so he wouldn't have a chance to get tangled up in there or eaten by a pui. Yeah, second moo of the day, pretty much the exact same size as the first one. Basically twin moos. Yeah, another nice fish. 2 moos on a shore dive. I will never ever complain about that. Unfortunate that Matt wasn't able to land that uku. That one was a really nice one too, maybe like a 7-8 pounder, which is big from shore for sure. But 2 moos from shore, can't ask for a much better haul than that. So super stoked. And for some reason when I brained this one, his head turned like bone white. That's not just the light reflecting off him. He was super pale after I brained him. But yeah, really nice sized moo. Got 2 of them as well. That's gonna make a really great meal. Gonna get some nice fillets off these guys. Yeah, nice fish. 2 moos, a Nohu, which again I haven't shot in a long time. Haven't even seen one in a long time. And even though he was on the smaller side, still, in my opinion, a really good eating fish. And always cool to see those guys out there. Yeah, nice ones. Yes, sir. Alright guys, so we got the fish here. We got our moos, moo number 1, and then moo number 2. 2 good size ones. Not huge, but definitely good eating size, maybe like 2.5, 3 pounds each. Good size fish. And then we got this freakazoid right here. These are Nohu, and they're actually a type of scorpion fish. They've got these nasty spines on the top, on their dorsal fin right there. And I believe those are actually toxic. They're actually venomous. And then they've got a bunch of weird spikes on their head as well. I don't know if you can see from back there, but they get a lot bigger than this. This one's a pretty small one actually, but we see them so little. They're so rare. I haven't seen one in probably over a year, maybe more than that actually. And yeah, usually when you see them, they're a bit bigger than this, but I just shot this one even though he's on the smaller side because, like I said, we hardly ever see them, and they actually taste really good. They've got these really cool, like bright orange, red colors behind their fins like that. So super interesting looking fish. And yeah, we're just gonna probably cook all of these up tonight. I think I'm gonna meet up with Matt. Don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll figure it out and hopefully it comes out delicious. But yeah, some nice fish here, and we'll get to cutting. Yes, sir. Alright, we're with Matt, the Uku man.
Yeah, except I didn't catch the uku. That'll be in the video. Making some lemon, butter, caper, moo.
Yes.
Kind of simple. Just taking out the bones from Zach's fillet job.
Oh my. Don't even.
Look at that. Look at that. Good enough.
Then we got our Nohu over here. The meat actually looks good, but there's choked bones in it. We're gonna give it a try. I've never eaten one this small before. We're gonna give it a shot.
Yes, so.
Yeah, sure.
So just doing some garlic salt and black pepper for our seasoning. Nothing too crazy because I like to be able to taste the fish. So just doing something simple, just doing eggs and flour for the coat. So we're gonna take these fillets, it's gonna go into our flour, egg, back in the flour, and then into the oil.
See, this what happen when you don't use wet hand, dry hand.
No matter. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Tastes like restaurants. So since the sauce was so good, decided to make some more because they didn't get enough love on the first pass. So, Zach's about to do a taste test. Oh,
That is
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah. Nice citrusy.
Professional. Yes, sir.
Alright
What
guys,
do we got?
so these two fillets right here are the Nohu. We're gonna give it a shot. I haven't had one of these in years, so. It's good. It's good. The texture's a little different than the mule, but doesn't taste fishy at all. Yeah.
Let's kind of look at that. Looks nice.